Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's day is off to a great start. I'm thankful to be in the land of the living this morning. I'm thankful to be amongst the living this morning. I'm thankful that God woke me up this morning and gave me another chance. So for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Grace Amber. I come on different platforms whenever God gives me a word to share. I come on and I share it with you. So really quick this morning, happy Wednesday. I want to talk to you from the topic of the catalyst. The catalyst. What am I talking about today? Let's jump in. Have you ever heard the term catalyst? So we learned this, I believe it was in chemistry. Don't quote me on this because I might be wrong, but I know that we learned about it in science. And so what is a catalyst? A catalyst is a substance or something that will speed up a reaction. And what it does is it once you put it in the mix, it then helps to speed up and bring about the desired result, right? What is a common catalyst? Instead of giving you some enzyme and all this other stuff, let me break it down for you really, really simple. A simple example of a catalyst. A catalyst that we might know about would be yeast. We know about yeast, right? And so we know that wine comes from grapes, right? What is the desired result? The desired result is for the grapes to then turn into wine, right? That's the desired result. What do people use? They then put yeast in, and once you put yeast in the mix, it speeds up the process of turning the grapes into wine. So we know that a catalyst can be used to speed up a process and bring forth a reaction, a desired result. Let's talk about us as humans. You often hear me talk about how we are creatures of habit. And once we get comfortable and get a routine going and get these habits going every single day, it's hard to get us to break them. If you've been getting up for the last 10 years drinking coffee every morning, it's going to be hard for you to suddenly, just like that, decide that you don't want to drink coffee anymore. If you get up every morning and drink a Red Bull, and you've been doing that for the last 15 years, if Red Bulls have been around that long, if you've been doing that for the last 15 years, it's going to be a challenge to get you to stop drinking Red Bulls every morning because you've done it so long. We are creatures of habit. And so a lot of times, in order for us to get us to break our habits, we have to be made uncomfortable. When we are comfortable, we like to stay that way. We don't like to change. And oftentimes, something has to happen to get us to change, right? I want to give you a couple of scriptures real quick. Let's turn to the book of Job. Everybody knows about Job, bless his heart, right? He was blameless and upright, right? Everybody knows about Job. So I'm going to speed through this thing, and I'm going to summarize really the plight of Job. Job, if you start off in the beginning, the first verse, in the land of Uz, there lived a man whose name was Job. This man was blameless and upright. He feared God and shunned evil. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters, and he owned 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 donkeys, and had a large number of servants. He was the greatest man among all the people of the East, right? And so make a long story short, Job was very affluent. Job was upright and blameless, right? Job was wealthy. Job had a lot, right? And then guess what happened? Let's go down to the 6th verse. One day, the angels came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them. The Lord said to Satan, "Where have you come from?" Satan answered the Lord, "From roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it." Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil." Satan replies, "Does Job fear God for nothing?" Satan replied. "Have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything that he has? You have blessed the works of his hands so that his flocks and herds are spread throughout the land. But now stretch out your hand and strike everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face." Here's the catalyst in this situation. Let's go to verse 12. The Lord said to Satan, "Very well then, everything he has is in your power, but on the man himself do not lay a finger." Then Satan went out from the presence of the Lord. Satan was ready to go do what he does, which is jack something up and mess up something, right? This is what he does. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So God told him, you can't kill Job, but you can steal from him and you can destroy him, because after all, that's what Satan does, right? And so what happened here is you had a man who had all these things, very comfortable, right? Had all these belongings, all this wealth, all this money. And so what happened is God offered Job to Satan. And so many of us would say, well, why would God allow this? Fast forward to all the things that happened to Job. We know that he lost all of his belongings. We know that he lost all his children. We know that illness struck him. He had the boils on his body, right? All these things happened to Job. Job was comfortable. He had this nice routine and thing going, right? He had it down to a science what he needed to do to be blameless and upright and righteous before the Lord. And then God offered him up. So the storm, the struggle, God offering him up was a catalyst in Job's life, right? But let's fast forward to the end of Job to see how we went through all this stuff. You know, I'm not going to read all the books of Job, but let's get all the way down, all the chapters of Job. Let's get all the way to the end, and let's see how it ended up. Let's see. Let me get there. Job 42. Then Job replied to the Lord, I know that you can do all things. No purpose of yours can be thwarted. You asked, who is this that obscures my plans without knowledge? Surely I spoke of things I did not understand, things too wonderful for me to know. You see what happened to Job? The storm that was the catalyst then produced a desired result in Job, right? Because Job had security in his belongings and his little system that had been working for him for so long. And God allowed Satan to come in and disrupt this system that was working really, really well for Job, right? And Job went through hell and back here on earth. But in the end of the book of Job, you'll see that Job got a greater understanding, which was the desired result. And let's keep going. I want to go to the 10th verse of Job 42. After Job had prayed for his friends, the Lord restored his fortunes and gave him twice as much as he had before. He got double for his trouble. What am I trying to tell you today as I talk about the catalyst? Many of us are going through hell in our lives. Many of us have gone through hell in our lives. Many of us are just wondering, God, why are you allowing the death? Why are you allowing the struggle? Why are you allowing the illness? Why did you allow me to be abandoned? Why did you allow the divorce? Why did you allow the miscarriage? Why did you allow the murder? Why did you allow these things, right? And Romans 8:28 tells us that all things work for our good, together for the good, right? We know that. And so when you look at our lives, we're looking at God and we're saying, why are you allowing this to happen? But God allows these things to happen because it acts as a catalyst to speed up his desired result in your life. You're going to God and you're saying, Lord, I want to be married. I'm a single man. Listen, I got a good job. I want a wife. But it's certain things that you do that God understands are not conducive and would not be good for the marriage that you're believing for. And so God then sends a storm which acts as a catalyst to speed up the process, to get you where you need to be to the desired result in order for you to be in perfect position for the blessing and the thing that you have been praying for. You know good and well that God has designed you to be a boss and not a worker, right? But the problem is you're so comfortable in your six-figure job, right, that you don't want to leave. Then God allows a storm. He allows a furlough. He allows for you to be laid off. He allows for them to reduce the workforce. And guess what happens? That serves as a catalyst. It doesn't feel good. What Job went through didn't feel good, right? But guess what? You going through that acts as a catalyst to speed up the reaction to get you right where you need to be. Nobody said and promised you that it was going to feel great. No, but God promised you that it's going to work for your good. You're looking and you're saying, Lord, why did you allow this man to leave me? I am a ex-wife with 3 kids. God, how did you allow this man to leave me with all these kids? Somebody might be saying today. And God is saying, listen, that man had to get up out of here because he was cheating on you from day one. Now, the man that you deserve can't come until this buster gets out of here. And so the divorce and being abandoned feels bad, but the storm serves as a catalyst to speed up the reaction to get you right in position to receive what you deserve and what you have been praying for. Many of us are looking and saying, God, why are you allowing this to happen? God is allowing the storm and the struggle and the misery and whatever it is in your life that is unpleasant. He is allowing it because he understands that he has to send a catalyst to speed up the process to get you to your desired result. You've been praying for increase. You've been praying to be increased, right? And guess what? Just like God offered Job up and allowed the hell to happen in his life, God is allowing it to happen in your life because he understands that the storm and the struggle will make you uncomfortable. It will serve as a catalyst to speed up the reaction and to get you to the desired result, to where you need to be. Just like Job went through the storm, he went through the struggle, he went through the loss, but it served as a catalyst to get Job right where he needed to be in his mind, to understand that your security does not come from your wealth and your belongings. Your security comes from your relationship to God, with God. And if you lose everything, as long as you have God, you're going to be straight. And once Job went through the process and the storm and the struggle and the loss acted as a catalyst, he came out a better man. And in the end, he got double for his trouble. He got double what he lost. And so many of us today, I want you to be reminded that God has not forgotten you. He has not abandoned you. Instead, what he is allowing is serving as a catalyst in your life. And what you will see in the end is it was necessary to produce the desired result to get you right where you needed to be in your life and in your walk with God. I hope that word blessed you. I am Grace Amber. I love you. I will be right back on tomorrow with another word, good Lord willing.